Hello everybody, welcome back to the Premier Guns YouTube channel, and today we are going to show you that it is affordable to get into shooting. We get quite a few people that come to Premier Guns to buy guns that are on a budget, and it is absolutely fine. We all have budgets, it's sensible to have budgets, but we also want to say that it is affordable to get into shooting. Your biggest thing is the initial outlay. So initially, to buy your gun license, medical, all that sort of stuff, that's your biggest output. Once you've got all of that and your gun, all you're pretty much paying for is your cartridges and your clays. That's it. Every 5 years you'll renew your gun license, but that's 5 years, same as your medical, 5 years. Firearms are slightly different, slightly more expensive, etc., but we're not on about firearms today. We're going to concentrate on shotguns. So basically, what's first? License. So this is the first thing you're going to be spending money on. Licenses, as we know, have gone up to £194, so £200 for round figures. This does last for 5 years. It has jumped up quite a bit from what it was previously, but it is what it is. You've got to pay it if you want a shotgun license. So £200 for your license, round figures. Second thing you are going to need as part of the shotgun license is a medical. So you'll get what they call a pro forma. It is part of the license application. Now, I did mine a few years ago and mine was quite expensive. It was £108. I've heard people spending £140. I've heard people spending £60. All depends on your doctors. Some of them can be quite biased as well. I know that a lot of people have been refused them, which is not good. I don't think it should be allowed that they refuse them, but they do, hey ho. So that's your second outlay. Now, one place I will recommend, and we used them for my partner's medical, was MedCert, and they were absolutely brilliant. Flat rate of £60 plus the VAT, 72 quid, job done. We got the medical sent back to us, no hassle at all. So definitely check out MedCert if you are struggling to get your medical. That goes for firearms as well. They'll do exactly the same for firearms. So once you've gone through that process, you've got your license, or you're going through the process of the license, shall I say, you're going to need a cabinet. Now, a new cabinet, 3-gun cabinet, 240 quid, something like that. You don't have to pay that should you not wish to. There are cheaper ways to do it. If you know people selling good second-hand cabinets that are police approved, you can pick one up from anywhere from 50 quid, 100 quid, whatever, depending on condition, age, etc, etc. You'll want some good bolts, anchor bolts, or cement some bar into the wall to fit it. 10 quid, something like that. So that's your second outlay. So we're up to, let's say, £200 for the license, £72 for the medical. We'll say 50 quid for the cabinet. So we're up to 272, 322 pounds so far. So your license comes through the post, you're happy as Larry, you're ready to go down to the gun shop. So again, there's many ways to buy a gun. You can buy a gun for 50 quid. You can buy a gun for 50 grand. It's as expensive as you want it to be. The gun I've got in front of me is probably one of the best value guns I can think a beginner should consider, not necessarily have to go with, but definitely consider, and that is the ATA SP Black. New, these are now £700, £800 with an adjustable comb, but you can pick second-hand ones of these up from anywhere from £300–400. If you can buy new, fantastic. That will push it over £1,000 to get into shooting though. Whereas this video, I'm trying to sort of see if I can get people into shooting, or show people that it hasn't got to cost over £1,000 to get into shooting, and you still get decent equipment. So second-hand ATA, let's say £400 second-hand. You're steel shot-proofed, you're multi-choked, your quality equipment. I know a lot of people slag the Turkish guns off. Go and try one, to be honest, because they genuinely are a really good gun. Yes, you are going to see ones with problems, but you see that with Berettas, you see it with 20 grand Berettas. Doesn't matter, the Turkish stuff is quality now. and it's definitely there for the people on a budget, or people that just want second guns just to get into shooting, or they want something for their friends to shoot. ATA's perfect. So we're up to 722 now. So we've got the gun, the cabinet, the license, everything else. What you're going to need next: gun slip. Normally people will chuck them in for you. So if you bought a gun from us, sometimes we would chuck in a gun slip. That's free. If you want to spend a bit more on a gun slip, or if you want to spend some on a gun slip and get something slightly nicer, 40, 50, 60 quid, you know, but we'll go on the fact that we've chucked you in a gun slip. So you're still at 722. So you've got your gun, you've got your gun slip, you're almost ready to go. You are going to need to clean the gun. You do need to take care of it. The more you take care of it, obviously the longer the gun's going to last. So something like this is a complete cleaning kit. You haven't got to buy a complete cleaning kit. There are smaller ones, or if your friend's got some cleaning stuff that you can borrow for a little bit, that's going to save you money. But something like this, a full package with all your brushes, your gun oil, your bore cleaner, your rods, your cloths, your patches, £64. And normally if people are buying for Premier Guns, we will do a discount on that, just to, you know, show a bit of customer loyalty that you know, we'll always help you out when we can. So now we're at 786 with everything so far. Range bags, 40 quid. Some people again will chuck you one in. If not, you don't have to go for the full range bag should you not wish to. You could buy a pouch. So basically what I'm thinking about here is holding your cartridges while you go out shooting. This will hold 25-50 cartridges, goes on your belt like that. Happy days, you can go out shooting. You haven't spent a fortune, but again, 40 quid. Even at that, something like this is 20 quid, something like that's 40 quid. Again, like I say, some people will chuck you one in. So we're now up to let's take the 40 quid into account. We're now up to £826, so still well under the £1,000 limit at the minute. Cartridges, that's going to be your next thing that you're going to need. You're going to need something to put through the gun. Again, you can buy these in boxes. These on their own, about £8.20. The actual slab of cartridges, 82 quid. So again, we are just over £900 now. We've pretty much got everything we need. The last couple of bits that I would recommend you would take on a shooting ground, and to be fair, some people actually make it mandatory that you wear these things, are hats. So something like this, 10-15 quid. A lot of you have got hats in the wardrobe. Get them out, put them on your head, job done. It's cost you nothing. Or if you can get a free one, especially at some of the shooting shows, a lot of the a lot of the manufacturers will actually give these out for free, so quids in. Pair of glasses, 15-20 quid. Something like this is rated. We also sell Evolution eyewear at Premier Guns. Again, a single pair of glasses, 20 quid. It's getting you out shooting. We're still under the £900. Ear defenders, that's obviously a big one. Again, it depends what you want to spend. Something like this, or you know, a little bit better, 30 quid, 35 quid. Over ear stuff, it's not too ridiculous. It's going to save you hearing. Please wear hearing protection because we don't want people going deaf. Alternatively, you've got stuff like this, your little foam ones, 50p in a shop, something like that. Christ, if you go to Screwfix, you can buy 50 pairs for like 9 quid, depending on how much shooting you're going to do. Little sort of insider thing here, that's what I did. I started off, I went to Screwfix, bought 100 pairs of these. That's what I used for the first 6-8 months of my shooting life. I can still sort of hear. But no, all joking apart, yeah, something like that. 10 quid, 50 pairs, still well under £900. So the last thing is skeet vests. Now these are not essential. You don't have to shoot in skeet vests. Personally, I prefer to shoot in something like this or a t-shirt. I just feel skeet vests get in the way. They do my head in. It gets very hot. But you can get ones that are mesh line rather than a solid one. So I've got one here. This is a Beretta one. This is completely solid, no mesh. You know, in weather like this, it is going to get hot, so just bear that in mind. But again, you haven't got to have one of these should you not wish to. They are very good, don't get me wrong. You've got big pockets there. You can normally get 50 cartridges in each pocket. Also bear in mind though, that will weigh you down slightly. One reason I don't particularly like wearing skeet vests, but something like that, whole 50 cartridges in a pouch on your bag, on your belt, you know, brilliant. Normally people are doing around a 50, they're doing around 100. You know, if you've got to walk back and get some cartridges, hey ho, it is what it is. Alternatively, your range bags, just put 100 cartridges in your range bag. Range bags are brilliant, to be fair. I use range bags quite a lot. It's just easy to carry everything around with you. Put 100 cartridges in, like I say, just put it down at your stand, job done. So something like that, 40 quid. If you want to buy one, you don't have to buy one straight away, but you can progress. So if you do start on like your foam ear defenders, you can progress to over here, you can progress to SWAT comms, but this initial layout from everything that we've done is 940 quid, something around that. That's if you're buying a complete slab of cartridges. You don't have to buy a complete slab of cartridges. You don't have to buy a full cleaning kit. If your friend's got some bits and bobs, save yourself some money there. Hat free, great. Or guns, you can get cheaper guns as well, but just for this purpose, the ATA I think is one of the best value guns. Second hand, 400 quid. Can't go wrong. Free gun slip. Like I say, some people are chucking free range bag, that'll save you even more money. The final thing you got to pay for is your clays. That's it. So yeah, that is getting into shooting for less than £1,000. I'm pretty sure I haven't missed anything off there, pretty sure. But yeah, less than £1,000. Yes, it is a fair outlay for some people. We totally understand that. We're always happy to answer questions and help where we can, help you, you know, perhaps spread the cost a little bit, or give you advice as to save a bit of money here, but still be safe, still be responsible, and still have a great time, especially on days like this where, you know, it is absolutely beautiful for shooting. So any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. If you like videos like this, please let us know. If you want to see some more videos, or you know, what you want to see, let us know, and we'll certainly try our best to get them to you. But yeah, that's it. So that is pretty much shooting for less than £1,000. So as I say, any questions, leave them in the comments below. Please subscribe, like, and we'll see you on the next one.